Hello and welcome to the Pioneers of the Great Awakening. We have this amazing guest today with us. Her name is Alexandra Brave, and she is the owner of the Telegram channel Lightworkers Awakeness and YouTube Lightworkers Awakeness TV. She's a Mexican living in Germany. She's traveled across the world and lived in various European countries. She comes from a shamanic ancestry from both sides of her family. And spirits talk to her. She does exorcism and quantum surgery, and she leads groups for empowering spiritual women who have began their awakening process and want to step out into the world. Hello, Alexandra. Welcome to the podcast. How you doing?
Hello, Epifanio. That's so beautiful that you invite me to your program and this very warm welcome. I'm very moved. Thank you. Thank you very much. And thank you for the audience for listening to us today.
So tell us something interesting about yourself that most people don't know about.
Well, the most people don't know how I live reality. But my reality is, I will say, like full HD, because I'm experimenting all what's happening around us, what we cannot see, but it's still there. And this is my real mission and just say profession, to translate the invisible world to everybody. And in this awakening process, I'm starting my real job since the lockdown started. That was a beautiful time for me. And up to now, I'm starting, for example, reading the hand for people, or talking people about their karma and explaining them who they were in the last past life, what they brought to this life, and what the plans for the next life, so that people start understanding that what we are experiencing now is just a part from a big plan what we have. And for me, this is a very exciting time, because I started talking about this, who I really are, just in the last 2 years or the last year. Before, that was a secret. The time was not ready. And I'm very happy that to start the awakening.
Oh, that's so beautiful. That's so beautiful. A lot of people did have this awakening when the whole thing started. For me, it was kind of like, okay, now it's time to get out and do something. You know, a lot of people I talk with, it was just like, it's happening. Now it's time to step up and boots on the ground. So tell us what has been in your life, your major fork in the road, when you actually had that moment that your life took you the way that it has led you to where you are right now. That decision that was the one that got you to where you are here now.
Yeah, it was very dramatic, and God was definitely involved, because I was trying to hide this part of me. It was not appropriate to talk about that. I was born in Mexico, and in my family, because we are shamanic, we could talk about that. But I realized that I was not having friends if I talked about telepathy or about healing with the hands. So I really put this part of me away. And one day, as I was 22, suddenly my whole family decided that I had to go to church instead of hanging out with the friends, making some party, drinking alcohol and things like that. And for me, it was a calling. It was a shock, because I was very young. I wanted to participate in all these parties and so on. But I realized that it was time to have a real talk with God. And I felt so bad, because a part of me was hiding God. And at that day where I went to church, because everybody was waiting for me to be there, the pastor said that the topic will be forgiveness. Oh, I felt so bad. and that we can forget ourselves and God will forgive us for all what we did wrong or what we feel or said. And I thought, okay, that's for me. That's this stone is hitting me. And my concept, and I said it's a concept about church was very wrong. I had to forgive myself for thinking that it's not a nice place to be. I really met a beautiful community full in love. And this pastor, he was talking about so modern things like transformation and about quantum physics. And that was so amazing. And that I thought to myself, wow, is that in the Bible for real? And I remember that he said, the second time where I was there, he said, Jesus is the first revolutionary person in history. He broke up all the dogmas and the taboos, and he screamed out loud, and he wanted us to change. And he explained how he did it with so much power. And also he was angry. He expressed that, and he was not smooth making that. And my heart was beating, and I thought to myself, that is the real Jesus. That's Jesus. I couldn't believe that. It was also funny. And in that year, as I came to church, it was the calling from God, because that my life changed completely. I never expected to leave Mexico for living abroad. I never expect to travel the world alone, sometimes with a partner, sometimes not, but to be the one spreading the mission abroad is also a little bit loneliness in this path, and sometimes frightening. But if God is talking to me, I think I have to obey. And after this meeting with God, I had the dream I told you about with my grandmom. I didn't get to know her because she died, where he came to me and say, you have to leave Mexico this year. That was February. You have to leave Mexico end of the year. That was 2006, and go to Germany and be there for the awakening. And I thought, what? Me? How? I'm just a person that have neither a job, neither my university finished. I have no contacts there. How? I was terrified. Yeah. But I did that. I sold all my things, and the money, the ticket, and everything came to me step by step. I was trusting in God, going to church, praying for my security, praying that He will be there, that the angels will protect me. And one day, 17th of December 2006, I took a flight. My mother was crying because she said, you won't never come back. And I cried and said, Mom, that's true. That's horrible. Isn't it? That was a horrible moment. And I took that flight, and I had really just a couple of connections in Germany, which I made in a very ancient time where Facebook was not born. Just
ancient time. I love that.
Some connections with people I haven't ever seen in my life. I took that flight to Paris, and I had no connection flight to Germany because I had no money for that. It was December, it was freezing, and I didn't have a coat for that. So I came there and I thought to myself, oh my God. But God sent an angel, and it was the person sitting beside of me in the airplane, a Mexican man. who said, and how are you going to travel to Germany? I said, I have no idea. And he said, okay, if you don't mind, I bring you at home with my Mexican French family and we help you. And I said, oh God, are they kidnapping me? Should I trust? And God said, trust. And they were so nice. They helped me. The guy, he's how to say, he's the man sitting beside of me was the stepfather, I think, the stepfather from the Parisian man, something like that. And he worked in a little tiny how say in English, airport in Paris. And they made it to buy me a ticket for workers for just $50 with all my luggage and brought me to the back door into the airplane and put me into the flight. And the colleague, the stewardess, because he know that I was a friend from this, or I was not a friend, but he said I'm a friend from this colleague. She gave me a champagne bottle.
A whole bottle. Yeah. Welcome to France.
And then I came to Germany and I called that guy. I haven't seen this guy in my life. And said, I am arriving 200 kilometers far away from Hamburg, where you live, in Hanover, but I have nobody there. Can you pick me up at 2 in the night? And he said, of course. And this guy drove 200 kilometers to pick me up. And after that, I married him.
Oh. Of course, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful.
So I start my life in Germany like that. That was crazy.
That was so beautiful. That's so beautiful. So what has been the worst moment of your life? The moment that you went down the darkness and the dark of the bottom of the barrel?
Yes, I have a pretty horrible moment. Well, I married this guy and we were happy for a time, but after this mission, things turned different and he got in love with someone else and we broke up, and I get divorced. I got to know another man who I described as one of my biggest loves in life, also in Germany. And he decided to me to travel the world towards Paris, Barcelona, and then Portugal. And we lived in those places, but we didn't have enough money. We had some money, but one day the money is gone. And I had no experience in work and travel and working here. And so one day being in Portugal, we had no more money. We had a fight because of that, because it was desperate. We had really no money and we were not able to speak Portuguese. We didn't know anybody, and the people where we were living, we were helping like woofers, planting plants, harvesting for others. But as we didn't have more money, they put us on the street with nothing, really nothing. And he was away because that was very stressing for us. And I went by walk to the beach because it was beautiful. But I just had my flip-flops and no money in my pocket, no water, and my skirt was a little bit, I'll say, so scratched. I looked horrible, and I had no mobile phone with no credit, no nothing. I had at that day, I not even had the possibility to call somebody and say, I am in Portugal. without money, without knowing the language, with nothing. And I have no place to stay. I have no water. I have no food. I have nothing. That was the worst moment in my life. I felt so alone. And I sit down on the beach and start crying. That was hurting my soul. And I thought, what is gonna be? Will I die? I had no idea how to face that moment. And after I cried alone and nobody noticed that I was having that horrible moment of my life, I watched the waves, and something there talked to me, something, a water spirit, call it like that. And in that moment, I felt the eternity. That was an enlightened moment. I felt loved by the holy, by the water, by the wind. It was the most perfect, beautiful moment in my life. And I started laughing and said to me, I'm so incredible, happy, and plenty because God loves me. The nature is there. I'm free. Everything is perfect. The sun is shining. Everything is so perfect. Why am I crying? And I ran into the waves and started jumping. And as I have been born at that moment, jumping and laughing and enjoying every single drop of that water. And someone saw me, that was a journalist. And he said to me, come, may I make a video for documentary for the European Union, because you're that what I am searching for, someone who is very happy in that waves. How can you be that happy? And I thought to myself, how can I be happy? I have nothing else to lose. I have lost everything in my life at that point. Everything. I had nothing. Yeah.
So what lesson did you learn out of that?
I learned that losing something is not bad. You can want at that day everything you have never had.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We're here to learn things that are not of this world, and this world is showing us the way. And then at that moment, that's amazing, because I've had a similar thing happen to me. Something, there's certainly you're out there, then you have nothing, and then suddenly it kicks you in like, but I have everything. It's like, and then everything changes. Now I want to hear what happened with that journalist. Like, did she shot a video of you, or what happened afterwards?
I had my first video shooting, and he said, just do what you're doing, and so moving with your hair and the air and the water. And I was enjoying myself. I was enjoying eternity. I felt that my soul has been eternal. That was an enlightened moment. You cannot repeat that because you want, so it happened. And the happiness I experienced that moment is a happiness which I carry with me since that day. It never went away. It's still there. It was something born in me. And he wrote me his telephone number on a paper, and a couple of days after, I also gave him my email, even if I didn't have any internet. But one day I had internet again, and he sent me the video with that YouTube link. Is still there in YouTube. And I can watch this video every time I want. Then I can remember this beautiful moment over and over again.
Wow. So if it's public on YouTube.
Yes.
So maybe we could, if you feel like it, would you want to share it when we put it on the page and stuff like that, so people can actually see it?
That would be beautiful. Yes.
Okay, that's sweet. So what keeps you up at night? What are you concerned with right now? What is like, your, I didn't want to say worry, but like what keeps you up at night? What are you like, thinking
For
about?
being honest, I sleep wonderful. I have no sleep problem.
Okay.
Um, no, not really. When my day finished, I know that I had a beautiful day, that I experienced very fantastic things, one wonder after the other, because you can really learn how to provoke wonders. I also took this a course in miracles. You can provoke miracles. Or with the book The Magic, you can also start being grateful, provoking these miracles. And my day ends like a miracle. I sleep very happy like a baby. And when I wake up, the first miracle is opening my eyes and being here. And then I am grateful for that. And my day starts beautiful.
Wow.
So,
I know exactly what you mean. I know what you mean. Most of the time I have that. Every now and then I don't, but I hear what you're saying. It's just feeling that love, that life flowing through, like letting you know, hey, look at life. It's beautiful. You're beautiful. Everybody's beautiful, and then you start kind of like getting yourself up, and now next thing you're vibrating right there and you're existing on that realm. So,
definitely.
so what is your vision for humanity's future?
Well, my vision is a collective one. It's not mine. We are moving towards more empathy, honesty, and we are bringing our hearts together. I think the time where we were afraid to open our hearts is away. That was the time in the lockdown. We were in uncertainty how to do that, how to cross over that bridge. But the lockdown was for me a blessing. We locked down also our fear, we locked down our beast, and we all had the time facing us, facing what is life, who am I, these big questions, because everyone had big questions. And even if I define myself as a light worker, in the lockdown, I experienced myself as never before, because we had one big blessing. We had time to do that. And I don't want to miss that lockdown. I don't want to miss the decisions we took as a humanity, because we were all running against the wall. And what happened is a gift to rebirth and to have a chance as a species to survive, because that all what was in the past, it was going in the wrong way. That was a big stop from the holy saying, stop, please turn around and try it again.
Absolutely. I know exactly what you mean. It was for a lot of people was like, what's up? What am I doing with my life? I mean, I've been suddenly like, I have all this time, and I'm kind of like maybe thinking a little bit, because I've been on the whatever trail for the last 50 years or 20 years or whatever. And I'm like, a lot of people did have that. There's many experiences that people had, but I totally know what you're talking about. For me, it was also like that, big time, big time. So what are you doing right now to contribute to this vision?
I left my old profession. I left everything was what I built up in the last 35 years. All in a sudden, I thought to myself, it's time for start working as a light worker for the awakening full time. 100% giving what I really brought from the above, 24 hours, 7 days, 1 year long. And how I do it? Well, the angels told me one day, because I always having this channeling, he woke me up and they said, you have to ground this channel, Lightworkers Awakeness. Lots of people will come. That's your way. And they gave me the name. It was not my idea to call it Lightworkers Awakeness, but it's making sense. Lightworkers Awakeness, step by step or all together. There are so many things contained in this name. They also gave me my spiritual name, Alexandra Brave. And Alexandra is brave. She's a light worker and she does Lightworkers Awakeness. Being a place to find others, being a school, being our whatever. It is like a city. Lightworkers Awakeness like a city. And it will be like a city. And it's not about me, it's about everybody joining us. And step by step, I am getting different tasks. The last task was this group, the magic, for realizing that gratefulness, being thankful, is one of the keys we need in this new time. And in the last 3 weeks, I got a very new task, which is surprising me. It's about empowering spiritual women, which are writing books and building up business startups about how to give birth, natural birth, without letting the modern medicine influence this natural holy process. I don't have any children, but I wish them to come in a sacred, holy moment to earth, not being influencing by whatever. And this is very, very beautiful for me, because these women writing books about that, they are warriors. They are so strong, and they are talking about things I have never heard. How beautiful a natural pregnancy can be, with your intuition, feeling as a goddess. And this moment where the baby is going through this channel, I call it, so the awakening channel, and opening, and this completely in intimacy. You don't need people watching you coming to this earth with lots of very aggressive lights and screaming, whatever. This is the goddess giving birth and receiving this new soul and understanding what this means. And this is where I'm working at now.
Wow, that's beautiful. That's so beautiful. Did you happen to see that video we had with Anabel Vizcarra? We have on the Pioneers. Check it out. She is a womb shaman. And so it's pretty awesome stuff, kind of similar stuff with what you're saying. You're talking more about what's it called? I have forgot the name. There's midwifing, but in a sacred way. So it's kind of connected, womb shamanism with midwife, sacred midwifing. But I totally understand what you're saying, and it's like I see it from everything. We have to just look into here and build a completely new world, because everything that's been done here in the Matrix is crap. It's like, it doesn't work and it's awful. It's like the way I see it from the way we build cities, all architecture are boxes, and the energy gets stuck, and we need to look at nature and see how nature grows, and then make our cities kind of like that. So we got to get rid of these nasty boxy cities that look like computer chips, from when you're flying on a plane from above, everything looks like a computer chip. Everything. And I talk about that on the podcast. We got to get rid of the whole thing, but not necessarily like demolish it, but we just move our attention to beautiful things that they just feel right when you're saying that, hits your heart. Like, yeah, that sounds. I don't want to be born in a world with a bunch of like people and ugly, fluorescent lights, and then they pull you out and then they spank you, and you're like, are you kidding me? What kind of like landing is that? So I totally understand you.
Yes, we're seeing the world, and it's so important that we start our life different, because how we start our life, this path we will it would be a path we walk on, and if we change that, then we change everything. So I'm very blessed that these warriors are contacting me and saying to me, please help me with the social media, help me to get more visibility. You know how to do that. And I have a mission. Help me. How do I connect? How do I build a link between the material world? Because of course you need money to live, or you need whatever. But how do we connect the duality and talk about the sacred? And I feel so blessed that I cannot put it into words. I ask myself every day when I wake up and have my beautiful emails asking me how we do this or that, because I'm like a manager, and I tell me, is it me? Are they talking about me? Are they asking myself? Is this my new job? And it's just fantastic. I cannot believe that. It's a miracle that I am in the position to do that, to serve like that, because I feel that I am here to serve, not to be one more guru with lots of followers around me. No, I am here to serve and helping others to release this mission. And I'm very grateful. I'm very thankful for that.
That's a true pioneer right there. Absolutely. So what do you think we can do to inspire unity among the different groups of the awakening movement?
It's very easy to be authentic. We don't need that much.
Can you dive a little bit more into what you mean by authentic? Like, what does authenticity means to you?
To speak out the truth of our hearts. To get in touch with our feelings, with our soul, with our spirit, because we are different levels. My heart, my body, my spirit, my soul. And really speak that out. The way we talk, then, it's very different. It brings another kind of waves. And some people are nervous first to talk like that, because you will start talking. For me, I describe that like giving flowers for everybody, like my flowers here behind me. This energy, what a beautiful flower has in it, the energy, this softness, brightness, and so poetic. Speaking like that is so beautiful. And there are also people being afraid connecting with this energy, that they say, just say what you want to say, and do you have a structure? Or they want it to be again materialistic, but because they are afraid, talking like that, listening to a talking like this will move all the particles in you. It will remember you that something want to be born, that you are more than you think. And it's like being pressed in or perhaps being surrounded from a stone or like that, and then this will start scratching and falling apart, this very hard like an X structure around you. I don't know how to say it in English, but I think that all of you can see that picture. And people are afraid, what will happen if this hard structure around me which doesn't allows the light to go in or the love to go in or out, when this breaks up, what will happen? And that's the reason, because lots of people don't want to talk like that. And I want to motivate everybody talking from the heart. Do it. Perhaps the person in front of you runs away or screams on you. That can also happen. It happens. But others will be very thankful. And even the person who ran away won't never forget that moment and your words.
That's so beautiful. That's exactly right. Communicate with an open heart, have that connection, because that's what connects the soul, the heart, the love, right? This is what we are. And when we are, because we've lived in the matrix for so long, we have this structure that where the heart is encased in stone. So it needs to be broken in order that kind of barrier needs to be opened up so the heart can sing and connect on the light. But it's so true that our true authentic self is that, who we truly are is that light, is that love. And it's we have forgotten it, many of us, because we've been living in the matrix for so long. And so it's like everybody's just like, waiting, who's going to show up, oh, they're going to hit me and stuff. But that's the heart closed. So if you show up with that open heart, it's going to either trigger that openness on the other, or it's gonna, like, they're gonna freak out and run away. But they will remember, there was that person that showed me their heart. Wow, that was weird. And I'm scared of that. It's like, that's kind of what I went. And then eventually maybe they'll have their experience when they can actually connect with the heart. That is so true. So right on.
It's uncomfortable because it's blowing up your mind. The first day in your life when somebody talks to you with real intention and power, you feel something in your body that's completely new. And the first reaction is being afraid of that. What is happening in my body now? Why don't I am not in control anymore? And that's the reaction. So for all the light workers listening, about your power, about this vibration you can generate with your eyes, with your presence, with your voice. Use it.
Absolutely.
That's a gift.
Absolutely. That's what we're here to do, for sure. Absolutely. What's your favorite quote?
Sorry?
Your favorite quote?
Oh, I have lots, but one quote which I really definitely love in this world is, I just know that I don't know anything.
Absolutely. I know exactly what you mean. When you get to that place, then you can open up and just like have an experience. It's like that thing, you cannot fill a cup that it's already full. It's so beautiful. I love that. Beautiful. So where can people find you? Tell us what you're doing. if there's something else you want to add to all of this beautiful story, because it's all about really listening to your heart and what is it, because the heart is it's speaking, and I'm listening, and I hope people out there are listening too. But where can they find you? What you have going on, all of that good stuff.
You can find me in Telegram. We will leave the link. The next, I will give you also my email, because if someone wants an exorcism or woman to be empowered in a spiritual business, then you can talk with me. If you want me to read your hand or to talk about your karma and explain you what is happening in everything, what has to do with you, family, money, and things like that, but with your karma, where the karma is, where karma is influencing your life, you can also send me an email. And I will give you also the YouTube, because the YouTube channel, Lightworkers Awakeness TV, is starting at the 23 of January, because a very beautiful day, 23/1/23. And then I want to start, and cosmologic, I know why. So you can all be there at the premiere and enjoy the first videos, and you will be there also. You don't know, but you will be there.
That's so beautiful. It's a pleasure to meet you, Alexandra. It's such an honor. Thank you so much for joining the Pioneers of the Great Awakening. You're absolutely a pioneer, and we're so blessed to have you on our ranks. As light workers, we're all doing our job here. It's just we're all here for filling a piece of the puzzle of this beautiful mosaic that we're building here with humanity. Thank you so much. Is there anything else you wanna tell to people before we take off?
Yes, thank you so much for listening. I appreciate that so much, because you're sitting there and you're following the podcast from Epifanio. You are a warrior. You are getting informed how to be part of the awakening. And if you are listening, I know that you have had that moment, and you are meant to be. God and the Holy are giving you your mission, and it will show up for you very soon. And thank you to you, Epifanio, that you're giving us this space. Thank you so much. It means a lot to me to be here with you. Thank you. Thank you
so much, Alexandra. Thank you so much, all of you beautiful people out there, for joining us for this beautiful session today. And we'll see you on the next one. You can go to journ.tv. That's JOURN.tv. That's the homepage of the podcast. If you click at the very bottom, there's a Pioneers link, and you can see all of our Pioneers of the Great Awakening episodes. You can also find us on Rumble. If you click on the About tab on journ.tv, you will find all of our social media. And also, if you're going through your dark night of the soul, it doesn't have to take years or decades. We have a very specific coaching program where we help people move through their dark night of the soul. It just takes a shift of a habit. And you can learn more about that on journ.tv. That's JOURN.tv. At the bottom right corner, there's a link that says support. Click on that one, and you can learn more about that. Thank you so much for joining us. Thank you, Alexandra, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.